Hello. I'm at a cat sitting place. I'm a cat sitter in Manhattan, New York City. I like to talk about living in New York City because, well, it's a distinction, and I wanted to live in New York City, and I managed to achieve it up until this age anyway, by one means or another. Not all legal, but at any rate, I'm here at a cat sitting place because people do allow me to come into their apartments and stay there and mind their cats while they are away. One cat in this case, there used to be two. And I came upon, as I was walking by, I'll show you, was walking by, and then I noticed that actually there are a bunch of Nancy Drew books in this apartment. And it is a new set, or a brand new feeling set of Nancy Drew mystery stories. The first 10 of the mystery stories of Nancy Drew, all of which were written by Carolyn Keene. Oops. And The Hidden Staircase, The Secret Clock, which is the first one. I read The Secret Clock. Yeah, and there's a bunch of Nancy Drew collections. So what went on in Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock. This is the very first Nancy Drew mystery ever written and released. It's from 1930. So back in 1930, as we know, who follow along with me or who follow along with the culture at all, we know that we still had prohibition in 1930. Nancy Drew does not mention prohibition. I guess she or her father, who was a lawyer, Carson Drew, is not a drinker either, so it's not an issue anyway. But an issue that does appear kind of in the book is the fact that it is the Great Depression that started in 1929. So we see a lot of people who are suffering without pensions and needing of money, and that's the whole plot revolves around this guy, what was his name? Joshua, yeah. Joshua Crowley, I think his last name was. Anyway, there's this old man, and he's like, is not married, and he's kind of peculiar, according to the father lawyer of Nancy Drew. I knew nothing about Nancy Drew and her background or anything before I read this. I did not read Nancy Drew books or Hardy Boy books or any child books when I was a child. I was not read to. My reading started in junior high with My Wicked, Wicked Ways and James Bond book, as I've said before. So this is my first dip into the Nancy Drew mysteries. The Hardy Boy mysteries are also advertised from the same publisher. And yeah, I wonder how different those are from the Nancy Drew books. Because Nancy Drew is not poor. Nancy Drew's father is a lawyer, and he's kind of famous, I guess. Like, she mentions his name, they go, oh, okay, Carson Drew, oh, yeah. He's connected. And she has a convertible automobile. So she drives around in her convertible. Obviously, the convertible was refigured in the illustrations. There are a few illustrations. And that is not a 1930s convertible. That is more like a 50s convertible that she's driving in this. But anyway, she does have a car, and I don't know how many people had cars in 1930, but not everybody. And this is her first mystery, and she solves the mystery. What the mystery is, of course, we know she's going to solve it, right? I mean, why? Her first case, and she's going to not solve it. What it's about is the guy where Mr. Crowley, Joshua Crowley, has last spent his days with the Tufans. What is their name? Yeah, they're TOPH. Yeah, Tufans or top hams. Tufans or Tufams or hot hams. Top hams. Probably top hams is what she meant, because these are obnoxious people. The top hams are the obnoxious people in the town, and the two daughters, who are Nancy Drew's age, treat her abominably. They just think she's, a poor girl, whatever. Although she's not, So yeah, they're not nice, and we all the poor people who this guy had been helping out are unhappy now that he's dead, and he said he was going to leave them in all of his will to all these people. But the will that the top hams have says that only they get all the money, and the Mr. Top Ham is the executor. So there is a conflict there, and what the plot is Nancy finds out or has clues that there is another will, and that Joshua Crowley was trying to hide it from the evil other people, and she runs around and tries to find the will where he has hidden it. Now, I won't tell you where it's hidden. Maybe it's hidden somewhere in the title, but she solves the mystery, and everybody's happy. And because this is the Depression, so all these people don't have any money, and this is before Social Security or anything like that. So I guess there was some sort of relief. We don't know where this is set. She's set in a town where she can go 50 miles this way, and there's a summer camp. She can go all these other towns adjacent. She's driving around everywhere with this car. There's also a plot about these thieves who were stealing people's furniture with a van. So they've two of the old ladies who are expecting to get money from the rich guy have a house and selling some of their furniture to these guys, and they take all their silver too. So these are the furniture thieves, and finally Nancy runs into them in another situation and has to track them down with the cops and all this. There's a big chase scene. There's no guns in this. It's sort of interesting. The bad guys do capture Nancy, but they don't kill her or beat her up like in the regular detective story, like Sam Spade or something. If he gets captured by the bad guys, they're gonna beat him up, right? Well, they don't beat up Nancy Drew. They just lock her in a closet for a while, where she could have starved, of course, but anyway, she doesn't, because she went on to have all these other adventures, and all women, girls everywhere were delighted to read these books. I just talked to my aunt, who's in Florida, whose will I'm waiting for. Actually, she's turning 97, and I said, well, I just read the first of the Nancy Drew books from 1930, and she said, well, I probably read a bunch of those. Of course, she doesn't remember them. Why would she? They're not particularly memorable. Will I remember the plot of The Secret Clock? I don't know. Well, probably won't read any more of the Nancy Drew books, because this is actually the place where I also have Evan Hunter to read, so I'll probably read one of Evan Hunter's books here. Anyway, it's a little break from my CIA books that I'm reading and stuff like that. I just read this little quickie, 180 pages. It was kind of fun. was kind of a dip into the past. It's like a movie, really. It's like an Andy Hardy movie, is what it's like. It's like that kind of picture. Andy Hardy were these movies from the 40s, I think, mostly, maybe the late 30s. Mickey Rooney played this judge's son, so it's sort of like Nancy Drew in a way, I guess. But it's the same kind of middle class atmosphere of kind of Hollywood. Hollywood Americanism is really can really be felt in the texture of this book. The Hollywood Americanism that, well, it made me what I am, actually. Good old Hollywood Americanism, and I'm a good old Hollywood American boy. That sounds like a good song. Could I make a song out of that? Let's see. My guitar. I'm a good old Hollywood American boy. Everything I know I got from Hollywood. Came through the TV and looked at me, and everything I know about is Hollywood. Nancy Drew felt like Hollywood to me, 'cause everything I know about is Hollywood. I don't know if that is good or bad. It's the only thing I ever had is Hollywood.
Subscribe so you can get more of this. Delivered